Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was sampling. Now, I use the sampler for all of my sampling. They have another device called Sampler, which is a little more in-depth. But for this, I think we can just stick with the Sampler, and I can show you how to sample, because it is, even though it's called Sampler, it is pretty deep. So there are many different ways of bringing a sample into Ableton Live, especially if you're using a software, but I wanted to show you how I do it directly from the push to. You can actually choose a sample and load that sample in, and it'll automatically make a new track with a new sampler device. Now, the only thing is you must have the folder imported into your Ableton Live already in order to actually access the sample. So let's go and add this track. Go to my user files, and I'm gonna go all the way down to folder that I preloaded up in here. Okay, so I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna load that in. Now you see it automatically puts it into the sampler. Now we're gonna hit the sampler button, and we have some more options here. We have all of these options down here. Okay. Now, when I play it, I can tell that it's not warped. And I can tell it's not warped because when I play a lower note, it goes slower. When I play a higher note, it goes fast. And that might be what you want, but that's not what I want for this right here. So what I want to do is actually go to warp, turn warp on. So now I can play it like an instrument. I can also reverse it if I want to. I can crop. I can actually warp it to where it's faster by hitting the divide. Or if I wanted to, I can make it slower by hitting the multiply. So this is the normal. Now that's just one mode, but you know, you have multiple different parameters in this mode. You have your envelopes, you know, which is your attack, decay, sustain, release, your ADSR, your warp. I just showed you. You have your filter, and you can actually change the filter circuit, which emulates different analog gear. You can add some distortion in there. You can put the filter to the LFO, to the velocity. You can add resonance. And of course, you can change your filter type. Let's keep it here. Go back to my main. Now there's different modes, so I can go to my one shot. Now one shot is exclusively for monophonic playback and is optimized for use with one shot drum hits or short sampled phrases. Now this mode has a simplified envelope controls and does not support looping. By default, the entire sample will play back when a note is triggered. So it'll play through the whole thing. All right, so you have your same things that you can do down here, except you can't loop in this mode. The last mode, I did show you this mode, is the slicing mode. Now there's a number of ways you can slice. You can slice by transient and change the sensitivity, and this is the amount of pads that you have. So and with each one of these, you can change the the start point. You can only change the start point in this mode. There's beats, which it just divides it evenly based on what division you have it in. Alright, there's region. And you could decide to have a certain amount of regions, and it just divides it into equal parts. And this is my favorite one. This is manual. So you could actually manually slice this stuff. And it don't matter which pad you hit either. You can hit any pad. Okay, so for each one of these, you could change the nudge. You could choose to have a polyphonic playback or a mono. Basically what slicing does is that it non-destructively slices the sample so that individual slices can be played back from the pads. This mode is great for working with drum breaks, but it's great for sampling in general. Let's change that. Now in this mode, there's a few different things you can do too. You can clear slices. Let's not do that. And you can actually split whatever slice that you're on. So let's say I wanted to split that one. So it automatically splits that for you. So you have two different modes right here. This trigger, meaning it'll play the entire sample, and gate, it'll only play it as you hold it down.